Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at Kamen Rider Black, which is the last and final second 4.5% jackpot card. Alright, so first and foremost, let's take a look at the leader skill, right? So this is, I think, the ugliest Kamen Rider in my opinion. Alright, so leader skill, when the team has only humans or Shadow Moon. Although this Shadow Moon is probably a card that's going to be released later on in this collaboration, right? So it's also based human playstyle. So point number one, we have team attack times 6.5, recovery times 3. Okay, so very good recovery, but we're lacking HP, right? So HP is a problem for this card, right? And I foresee that this card here is gonna die so badly among all the other jackpot cards, right? I'm gonna explain why later. So extend rune movement by 2 seconds, so leader ally 4 seconds. Number 3, when more than 6 combos are made, team attack times 3.5 additionally. Alright, so this is also kind of easy to hit, no problem. And dark and fire possess 50% effect of other rune stones, and then leader ally is going to be 100%, and effect of light runes will increase by 100%. So this is still very light rune focused offensive playstyle. Alright, so I think it's okay. Problem is we're lacking HP for this one, right? So damage reduction, hello. Alright, so team skill, we're going to take a look here, which is translated in my phone. So for this, you will have Kamen Rider Black as well. Kamen Rider Black as leader, or Black RX as ally, right? So basically we just have these two cards, leader, ally, be it transform or not transform. Alright, so point number one, you have human and Shadow Moon, HP times 1.5, right? So you get the HP boost in the team skill instead, right? So but that's not gonna, there is still gonna be very little HP, trust me. So point number two, we have for every 1 light rune, dark rune, as well as hard runes dissolve, we have 10% damage reduction to the max 80%. Right? So we have damage reduction, but the HP is still a problem. Right? So why I say that this card is going to be problematic over time is because you're still going to have a problem encountering enemies with ignore, damage reduction, initial attack, stuff like that, and this team is just going to go down just like that. So it's still important for you to have HP in this kind of meta. We have cards that have like 50, 60,000 HP nowadays, or even 100, 200,000 HP nowadays, right? So it's a problem if you don't have a chance to withstand high damage, right? Especially enemies that ignore damage reduction, and this team is a full GG, right? So point number 3, we have 以光或星. Okay, right? So if you start spinning using light runes as or hard runes, right? So which means you pick up a light or hard and start spinning at the start of the round. Leader and ally attack times 4, right? So it's not the whole team, but only leader and ally. So you're gonna focus, damage is heavily focused on the leader as well as the ally. Alright, on top of that, you get to plus 3 combos. Alright, so that's gonna help you in terms of damage by a bit, and it's gonna help you solve those combo shields by 3 combos, just 3 combos, right? At least it's gonna hit, if you spin an average of 7 combos and it's above 10 combos shield, this shouldn't be a problem, right? So if you start spinning using fire or dark runes, right, leader, ally, attack times 3, and on top of that, it's gonna launch an extra light and dark damage once. Okay, and leader and ally will ignore quintet enchanted quintet shield, right? So if you dissolve enchanted runes, it's gonna ignore quintet enchanted, right? But only the leader and ally, right? So take note of that. So let's go back and take a look at Kamen Rider Black active skill. So for 1 round, boss burning will be nullified, right? So ignore burning for 1 round. A rune movement will not be stopped when an electrifying rune is touched, so you can move electrifying runes as well, which is good. And then character will launch an extra light attack. Okay, kind of meh. Human runes will be generated in columns below the character. Okay, so that's an extra damage right there. And by dissolving more than 5 light runes, character's damage will be dealt regardless of initial shield. Right, so as what I say, member wise, very good. Right, so this is also worth the draw based on what we see for now. Alright, so for CD, you can ignore burning, you can move electrifying runes, you can ignore initial shield. Right, so a multi-purpose card here. Alright, so moving on to active skill number 2. So turn all runestones into fire, heart. What am I reading? Turn all runestones into fire, light, and dark of fixed numbers and fixed position, right, which you see right here. Alright, so if you equip the Sunriser Dragonware, you get to transform. Alright, so upon transformation, you become even uglier. So we have Kamen Rider Black RX, which is the transformed version. Alright, so if you notice, we have team attack times 6.5, which is no change. Recovery times 3, no change. Everything no change, right? So basically, what I don't know why they had to repeat it, but basically it's exactly the same. Alright, so then some of you might be asking, then what's the point of transforming, right? Other characters have an increase in, leader skill in terms of stats. Why bother transforming, right, for this one? Right, because you gain an extra team skill, alright, which is here. So what I've explained previously, which is what the Shadow Moon HP times 1.5 with human times 1.5, and you get the damage reduction, and you get a extra combo. All this is over here, right? So once you transform, you get an extra column of team skill, in which I'm gonna explain right now. Let me get back to my phone. So at the end of the round, you will get to convert the column below Kamen Rider Black RX into light runes and dark runes. So it's going to be random, but it's going to convert light and dark runes below the column of Black RX. So if you have transformed both leader and ally into Black RX, so you're going to have this double column transformation at the end of every round. Alright, so that's going to give you attacking runes passively, which is good. Alright, so usually I would say that this is a disadvantage because you will be hard to deal with stuff like and quintet, enchanted, and stuff like that. But because it has a skill that kind of solve the problem, that if you start spinning using dark runes or fire rune, so I don't see this as a disadvantage for Kamen Rider Black RX. Alright, so you will definitely get attacking rune every round. So I think the transformation is quite worth it. So on top of that, you get a Dragonary craft skill. So by tapping the Dragonary Wear, by tapping the Dragon Wear when it's activated, it's gonna deplete 100% of it, right? Then you get the following effect. For one round, you recover full HP, and then Kamen Rider Black or Black RX attack times 1.5, Kamen Rider Black CD -1, Kamen Rider RX EP +1. That's all. Alright, so I think that this is the smaller portion of the team skill, which you can activate whenever necessary. So attack times 1.5, I'm not sure whether it's worth it, because I rather you activate the Dragon Wear and play the Dragon Wear for the extra team bonus instead of this 1.5, but whatever floats your boat, right? So I think the more important part would be this passive rune conversion from the leader and ally columns, which give you that attacking runes, right? So with that, let's move back to the active skill for RX, Black RX. Alright, so EP 6 for the first skill. For one round, ignore burning, which is I think what we have just now. Okay, ignore electrifying runes. Not ignore, but you can move electrifying runes. You still have to dissolve them though. Right, point number 3, you launch an extra light attack. This is exactly the same as the black version. Right, just that now you're using EP. Alright, so I'm not going to talk about it. So next, EP skill 2, which is cost you EP 8. Turn all runestones into light and dark or fixed numbers and fixed positions. Alright, so attack of all enemies minus 100%. So you kind of use this to either burst or to kind of ignore the damage enemy attack for one round. Okay, so you either go full offensive or full defensive. So I like how they do light and dark, okay, or fixed position, which is this, okay, because you will still get to trigger one of the following effect, which is starting to spin by a light rune or starting to spin by a dark rune, right, depending on the stage. And then, yeah, but the problem is convert and not exploding the board to make this fixed number and fixed position, which means that if you encounter an enemy which prevents you from converting, you will not be able to use this EP skill. Right, so take note of that. So on top of that, I think this card here is still good as a member, right, because you still get to ignore burning, still move electrifying rune and still deal damage regardless of initial shield. I think as a light card, we don't have much of that, so it's good to keep, right? So as a member over time, it's still a very useful card, right? So recommended in my opinion. Alright, so that's all for this card review for Kamen Rider Black. If I left out anything, as usual, do supplement in the comments below, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.